Use Bridge Builder, and this is 2016, which is similar to 2015. Some of the specifications on bridge costs have been changed, but it'll give you a good idea how to use Bridge Builder 2015. So I'm going to go ahead, it opens with a tip of the day about how to improve your design. You can choose next, and you can choose to review the tips. I'm going to go ahead and close this. And then you get your loading template. If you want to load a bridge you've already opened or created, you can say load and click OK. That'll bring you up to the Finder. You can go to Documents and you can go in your class folder, which should be contained in here. I don't have one of those, so I'm going to create a new one. And the first one you should have started with, or should have been 24 meters. That's a deck elevation of 24 meters above the river, above the ground. If you said 0 meters, it would come down here at the lowest point possible to build a bridge. What we want to do is we want to design several bridges and we want to compare. How does changing the height affect the overall cost? Your goal is to design the lowest cost bridge that you can build that can safely transport vehicles or live load across the deck. So I'm going to go ahead and start with 24 meters, standard abutments, no pier, no cable anchors. And we're going to do medium strength. Standard truck. Go ahead and say next. So here you're going to have a choice between three through trusses. What a through truss is, a truck driving across will go between the trusses. If you set a deck truss, the truss is underneath the deck of the bridge, and so the truck would drive over the top. Right now what we want to do is design two through trusses, one here at 24 meters, and then we'll change it down to 0 meters, and we'll design a second one. I'm just going to go, you can select any one of these three, choose one that you like, and then later on you'll design that same bridge type down here at 0 meters. So I'm going to say next. I'm going to say design by Mr. Fetterman. You can put in your name. And this is a worn through truss. Okay. I'm going to say finish. So here you can see it's giving me a template. So where the circles are, I need to put in the anchors, or excuse me, the joints. These are the joints. The beams will connect between the joints. So I'm going to go ahead and finish connecting these and building these. I'm going to do this as quickly as I can, just because I'm recording for you guys. So you go from section to section, and some enhancements have been made from this versus previous versions. If it's going across and it's not going up or down, you can drag across all of them. You can see kind of how they highlight. I'm going to go to the very end, and I can double check that each individual member was created there. I'm going to do the same thing here, and then just create these in here. Now these are all 140 by 140 members, which is kind of thin for such a long bridge that will probably fail right off and then I'll optimize. Okay, so you can see my bridge cost is $323,000, but I don't expect at 140 by 140 that's going to work. So I'm going to test the bridge. You can see it sags and it broke right away right there in the center. The dark red members are under compression. The darker the color, the more compression they're under. And the purple members on the bottom, that's where the bridge is stretched, or it's stretching, the members are getting longer, so it's under tension. So I'm going to come back here and redesign it. The program very nicely identifies what sections failed and what you can do to strengthen them. So the first thing I'm going to do, select everything. I'm just going to get my bridge so that it works. I'm going to set it 170, see if that works. And it still fails. So I'm going to go up here, 180. I'm just going to get my starting cost. Okay, so 180 by 180. So I'm just going to double check all the members are in a bar size of 180. My starting cost is now $481,000. So now what I'm going to do is going to take a screenshot, Command Shift 4. So this is going to be my starting cost at $481,000. Now to get this as cheap as I can, I need to optimize and I need to look at the compression strength. So I'm going to click on compression strength and I'm going to slide up to the top. Anything that's under about, what I've discovered is anything under about 0.80 can probably be made thinner. for the compression strength. Same as the tension strength. So I need to look carefully. I'm going to click on this one. Let's scroll down to the bottom and making sure none of these are 0.80. None of them are, so I'm going to make them thinner by 1. Test, come back, look at my values. Okay. And nothing is. I'm going to come back in here. I can see this one is 0.89, so I'm going to deselect it. That one's 0.88, so I'm going to deselect it. The rest of these can be thinner, so I'm going to make them thinner. Test, come back. Still looking good. Making it thinner, and I'm just going to keep repeating this process, trying to get this bridge as cheap as I can. Now I can see these two are close to breaking, so I'm going to deselect them, but the rest of these are okay. I'm just going to click double check on here. Ooh. So underneath tension strength, I can see this member 16 right in here is about ready to break, so I'm going to deselect it, deselect all of these that are less than 0.80. I'm going to go ahead and test, come back, nothing broke, make it thinner, test, come back. I can see some of these underneath tension are getting, now come back and sort by compression. I'm just looking and everything is still looking good, so I'm going to make things a little bit thinner. I should be able to get this cost down probably somewhere in the neighborhood of right around 300,000, maybe high 290s. So I'm sliding up, making these thinner. You can see it's displacing the weight anyway, and I'm at 308,000. So I'm looking here, deselecting here.
What are you doing?
And here, and I'm just going to continue optimizing my bridge. And so now you can see I'm at 293. I'm going to test, come back, and I did have one member fail here, and it looks like 2, 3, a few more members that also failed. So I need to strengthen those a little bit, but overall I'm doing pretty good. I'm just going to select these two that failed, make them stronger by 1. Let's find those other two down here at the bottom, make those increase the strength. You can see the price goes up, but that's okay. Coming back to compression strength, and I'm sorting, starting at the top, coming down here to the bottom. All of these. Oops, I selected something. I'm going to try that again. Starting here at the first bar and then coming back down to 0.80. I'm going to make all of these. Well, first, before I make them thinner, I'm going to check to make sure none of them are about ready to fail underneath tension, and some of them were. So these are the ones I'm going to make thinner. Go ahead and test. Come back. You can see that I don't really wait for the truck to drive across because I don't need to. You might be thinking, well, wow, this sags down. Well, the exaggeration is turned on. If I turn it off, that's what it would look like. It's just exaggerating so you can see how the bridge would move. Anyway, I'm at 286. As you can see, I can go ahead and keep optimizing to get this cost down by analyzing my compression and tension strength. And that's how you use the program Bridge Designer. When you're done, you need to go ahead and save your work. It is important to leave the .bdc, but this is my Bridge Designer. I'm going to save it as 5 or 3, whatever your class period is, 3, your name. The bridge type, so this is a warren, or excuse me, how many meters above the water it is. So it's 24 meter, and it is a warren through truss, and put whatever the cost is. So I'm going to put 286K, and I'm going to go ahead and save this. I'm going to create a folder in here. I'm going to call this 3, if I was in third period, Fetterman Bridge design. And I'm going to create, now all of my trusses, all of my bridges should be going here, so I can go ahead and press save. Alright, to create a new one, all you do is click the new bridge, and you can choose, and the next bridge you design is going to be 0 meter, and we're going to compare the 0 meter with the 24 meter. You want to build the exact same truss system, so I'm going to do a Warren truss. Notice it doesn't give you any deck trusses. The reason why is because the deck would go into the river and that would be bad. And then you can say finish. Again, update the naming of it through truss. So Mr. Fetterman, we'll put 0M Warren. Okay. And then you just repeat that same process, analyzing the strengths. And that's how you use Bridge Designer. Thank you.